go live, and then we can talk about it.
Such nonsense. All right, I am now live.
Oh, you are. Let's see here. There you go. And I'm in.
JS Belanger, 1701. Invite to join. Hey.
There we go.
I almost think we knew what we were doing. We're getting good at this.
There we go.
Yay. So those of you watching on YouTube, perhaps, yes, we are going to be bouncing back and forth between here and Instagram as we typically do, but we're not going to have a central topic we're going to focus on this week. This week, we're going to really, the focus is going to be on the live interaction from Instagram. We're going to let the people that are going to join up sort of direct the conversation and see where this is going to go. So
She's like, well, I'm
weird,
pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I am
You
pretty
are.
cool. Opinions vary.
Jeff's like, it's debatable. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Geeks and Company and another episode of the Geek Boutique. Yes, we're still live on Instagram tonight. Like you heard in the intro, Jeff mentioning, we are going to be talking a lot to the people live on Instagram. This show is all about them, the people that are watching us. We only got a couple people in the live right now. I'm hoping more people will be joining as they go. Hopefully, we didn't alienate everybody last week with our crazy geek talk. We went a little bit deep into the nerdiness of Ghostbusters last week. I feel like we may have lost some people, but hey, it is what it is. Returning, because he had been here since the beginning, but missed last week.
He did.
What's going on, Jeff?
For shame. What on Game of Thrones? Get the lady behind me with the bell and clang it. Shame.
I mean, we have an actual quasi celebrity on the podcast, and I'm too tired. I'm gonna go to bed because I have to get up early.
Cutie said it was an epic episode, so you didn't need me.
Oh, there you go.
So it's fine. But maybe it's better off without me. Maybe I shouldn't even be at lunch. You run the whole thing. And there's our friend Mike, our resident
Crazy Mike cosplay
expert.
It's funny that all the people that are in the chat so far are people that have been on the show.
That's right, because they know what it's all about, which is a lot of just messing around, basically.
Yeah, basically,
No, things are okay. Like we were talking about before we started, the weather has been a garbo, but I mean, it's late January in Canada. What are you gonna do? So
yeah, we've been getting dumped on. You're at work, really?
Mike is at work. Yeah, I think it must be on. I didn't think you were still on afternoons, boss. I thought you were all done with that. Because we adore you. You must be talking to JS, because I know you ain't talking to me on that one. That's right. But we are going to cycle through some questions and such as well. So it's not going to be completely prevalent on the people that are showing up and popping in. So
yeah, we're going to cycle through questions, and we do realize that there is a little bit of delay between what you guys are hearing and what we're talking about. So we'll ask questions and talk about it between ourselves for a couple minutes, and then you guys please jump right in, and we'll try to get to your questions as quickly as we can. I mean, where do I even start? I mean, I feel like I want to. I know we've been doing a lot of cosplay talks lately, but I want to talk a little bit more about cosplay, because obviously everybody right now in the chat is a cosplayer. And I want to hear about them. I mean, although I kind of know a little bit about what everybody's been working on lately, because I follow them all on Instagram. But tell us, what you guys are working on. What's got you excited about the cosplays that you're working on lately. I think me and Jeff have talked about this slightly, and maybe this is me putting you on the spot. Talk to you about something that we potentially want to do for Fan Expo next year.
Right.
We still want to do the Transformer thing. Okay, guys. So for those people that are listening and the people that are watching, we've been talking about doing Transformers. God, for weeks now, we've been talking about the fact that we're going to do Transformers. We still want to do that. Problem is we don't want to rush it. We don't want to rush it to make it in time for Fan Expo, and then realize that we've rushed to make costumes that aren't as good as we could have made them for a con that eventually gets canceled. So we're going to take our time. We're going to do it slowly. But for Fan Expo, we put out that perhaps doing for the release of the Rings of Power, a Nazgul group cosplay, since somebody that we know is organizing I don't know how big, but organizing a Lord of the Rings cosplay. So are you in or are you out? Because I don't think you ever gave me a proper answer.
It was going to be contingent on you hearing back from a certain
For
that
certain
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie girl, yeah.
I have had a chance to speak with her, and I know she's going to kind of quote it to you a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
So it may be a matter of like you may want yours hyper accurate, and you'll be willing to spend
Yeah.
the money on that much material. I may not want it to be as hyper accurate, and will not spend as
Which
much
is completely
money.
fine.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't see it being a big problem, maybe? I don't it wasn't on my initial docket for Fan Expo, but it's 4 days, so I've got time.
Well,
The
I know
weird
you got that Boromir cosplay
well,
that you were
that's the
gonna.
weird part for me, like, I already have a Lord of the Rings costume, but if you wanna
Yeah.
have, like, a Nazgul group and you wanna make sure it's people that are, that and you get along with and you're gonna spend some time with doing that, then yeah, I'm happy to join the group as long as it's not gonna cost me hundreds and hundreds of dollars, then that's fine.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Mm.
Cutie says she just made her first Batman cowl. It turned out pretty. She says it turned out pretty okay. Did you? You should post that on your Instagram so we can actually see what it looks like. I mean, that's awesome. And then that Valkyrie girl. Yes, I am. Oh, damn phone.
You can
I
scroll. You can scroll, right?
I cut us off last week.
Just use your
I
finger.
literally
Use
shut
your
down
finger.
the
Use your finger.
yeah.
Just
She
scroll.
says I'm working on quotes. Fabric is hard. It's almost set. Okay. I mean, look,
There you
there's
go.
no rush, other than the fact that I mean you're going to be making the costume, so it's all dependent. The quicker you can give us the quote, the quicker you can get started. Basically, right? I mean, that's what it
Yeah,
comes down
because
to.
so
But I
Mike
don't
was
know that.
saying too that he's gonna have his Faramir ready, come
Perfect.
Fan Expo. And, Megan, I don't know if you've seen, Megan's, Galadriel, but
Well, I
it
was talking to her about that as well, and
yeah.
yes, we totally want to do that. I mean, the more people that we can have in a Lord of the Rings group would be amazing.
Yep.
I mean, I get that the new show is not going to be about the characters that we know from the movies. It's going to be, you know,
Yeah, and like I was saying
Mike can
before
probably tell us, but
yeah, Mike can definitely tell us. But like I was saying before, Lindsay, who we've had on the podcast as well, on the Lord of the Rings episode, has a big like couple of dozen people. She's a huge group that she's trying to put together for photos and videos and stuff. And from what I understand, they're also looking to have some sort of a con presence at some point. So I would
right.
assume it would be something like Fan Expo. So there may be like a intermingling, or at least, hey, let's all get together in front of one of the big poster things and we'll have a big group picture. But I mean, we obviously don't have to run with them. We can go off and do our own thing.
No, but at the same time, I mean, why not? I mean, if we're all going to be doing the
For
same
sure.
thing, I mean, I have no problem. I mean, the
Yeah.
bigger the group, the better.
Galadriel.
Galadriel would
So,
be there.
yeah.
Perfect.
So Megan is part of that other group that's going to be running around. So yeah, I'm sure we can find a way
Perfect.
to do some
Cutie
con.
says that her Batman cowl is on her Kofi, but it's for members only. Well, that doesn't help us right now.
Are you guys using the equipment with Instagram's live stream using secondary service as Time Flash? Yes, Time Flash. Yes, we're both on our phones and using webcams and microphones on the computer. So it's a PC and a phone.
Yeah.
Anyone that we're having on the podcast, we're asking has the capacity to do this. So you need 2 devices to be able to. That's why
Correct.
I've got a microphone here in front of me, and I got a little lapel mic going. Right.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay, I see now. Yeah, I
So
don't use my lapel mic for this. I've got a microphone that comes with a separate soundboard that has 3 outputs.
yeah,
So I can hook up my microphone to 3 devices at the same time.
yep,
So I
that's
can hook
awesome.
it up to my phone and my PC so that my actual mic provides my audio to both devices.
That's super cool.
The dork side. Hello, I've arrived. Well, hello, the dork side. Welcome. Hey,
Tim is
Black
with us
Captain
as
Kirk,
well.
Mr.
Yep.
Tim. Hopefully the Rings show looks better than WOT. What am I
Wheel
missing?
of Time.
Oh, we left. You know, I've heard some good comments about that show, but the people that have actually read the books or the book, or I don't know, I don't know. I never read the source
Oh, there's
material,
like
but
15 books in the series. It's a
yeah.
lot.
So those people are like, this show's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
But
I'm hearing as well. I
yeah,
watched it. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's not
I haven't watched it yet.
I think they were trying for a certain. It's good. You should give it a try. It's 8 episodes. You're in and out. It's you
Yeah.
can do it in a weekend. It's not that big a deal. So
So what else? So just for the people joining, I was asking earlier. I see Wayne's joined. What's up, Wayne? I spoke with Wayne. Man, I'm sorry, man. Wayne wanted to do an interview for Body Heroes, his Instagram page, and we had to do it over like 3 or 4 nights because you know, I'm doing other stuff and I realized like a half an hour later that he's asked me a question and then all of a sudden it's midnight and I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to drag it on that long, but it is what it is, I suppose. So yeah, so I was asking everybody what cosplays they're working on, what has them excited as far as their future cosplays. Black Captain Kirk says the monsters and prosthetics were unconvincing for me.
sorry
Sorry
not to
not
be.
to be a hater. Right? Listen, listen. You don't because you don't like something doesn't mean you're a hater. Seems people have actually a hard time understanding that, lady. I'm getting a lot of comments on some of my videos. Getting called a hater and a this and a that because I didn't like an episode of something, and it's like, dude, sorry I triggered you so much for not liking something that you like.
Stop making the
So
hater
Tim, yeah, don't worry about it, man. You are not being a hater. It's completely fine that you are
Oh,
not liking something.
I want to address something, by the way. What day do we do this podcast? Thursdays, right? Every Thursday we do the podcast. Here we
Yeah.
are. We're doing this. What day does the Book of Boba Fett air on Disney Plus?
I believe it's on Wednesday.
I believe it's on Wednesday too. So you would think logically on our geeky podcast on Thursday, we would talk about yesterday's episode of the Book of Boba Fett, but somebody hasn't watched this week's episode of the Book of Boba Fett.
Listen, no, I have not watched it. I just look. I haven't had a chance.
Listen,
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't had a chance, dude. I was literally working until 9 p.m. last night, and then I had an interview. I had an interview at 9 p.m. last night. For those that don't know, I'm a talent acquisition specialist in real life. I'm a recruiter, so I interview people literally for a living. So I haven't had a chance to watch it.
Shame
I
on
haven't
you.
not been. Do we want to get into Star Wars right away? Like I was asking people about
No, I know, but
their
no one's
cosplays,
talking about
but
their cosplay. So, well, the dark side piles onto you and his likely story.
see,
And
she hasn't seen it either.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, but she's not part of a Thursday podcast. So
yeah. Well, fair enough.
yeah.
I'm having a hard time with the Book of Boba Fett so far.
Well, you and everybody else.
Episode 2, I kind of liked it because it gave us a little bit of backstory on who. Oh, there's Wayne. I thought I saw Wayne's personal account show up earlier, and now he's here as Body Heroes.
Yep.
So, are you on with both accounts, bud?
There you go. I'm behind a couple apps.
Yeah, the biker gang. Like
get your crap together.
There's a little. Tim was just saying the biker gang stuff. You know, as good as I think Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are to the brand of Star Wars, I don't understand why they decided to portray the baddest bounty hunter in the galaxy as some pushover. It's exactly what we're getting. We're getting the chase, dude. Tim keeps talking about the biker gang, which was ridiculous on last week's episode with their friggin' multicolored Power Ranger scooters, and it's
okay.
I don't understand what's going on with this show,
there
man.
And Tim's I got two things for you. The first thing is I think as far as the biker gang and the fact that they've all got like mods and they're young and they're listening to music and they're on brightly colored things, the show has to appeal to a broad demographic. It's not just bitter old guys like you and I that want everything to be dark and dingy and whatever. They want teenagers to watch it. They want millennials to watch it. They want Gen Z to watch it. So they're trying. I'm not saying it's working, but they're trying to broaden the appeal so it's not just an endless. A little bit of color on Tatooine is not the worst thing that could possibly happen since everything is basically beige.
Cutie says Power Rangers are kick-ass. Go Boba Rangers.
Boba Rangers. The second thing I want to say though about him being a pushover is I think we have to understand that he is completely and totally out of his element, which he talks about in not this past week's episode, but the week before. He spent his entire career being a bounty hunter. He has no idea how to be a gang lord. So he's learning as he goes. He's going to screw up. He's going to get beat up. He's going to take his lumps. He's going to fail a lot and screw up a lot, like everybody does in a new venture of this magnitude. It's all going to be building to an eventual payoff. You just have to get through this terrible time where he's basically a giant screw up. Seems that Mando had more edge to it than the Fett show. I agree with you. I think the problem there too is Mando is galaxy spanning. He's constantly going from planet to planet and basically doing side quests as he's on his main quest. Fett is in one spot the whole time. He doesn't leave. He's in one shit little moss Pella or Isley or whatever it's called. I don't remember which moss it is,
I
but he's
forget
in
it.
like
He's not in Mos Eisley. He's
no
in
moss,
somewhere else.
I don't know, whatever it is. He's in one spot. He's not going anywhere. You don't have this galaxy hopping adventure that you got with Mando, and that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be different. The problem is they led with Mando, which is a galaxy spanning adventure, and now we're just some old bald guy sitting in his chair wondering why nobody likes him. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We haven't seen Mando really kill anybody. Has he killed anybody in this show so far? In 5 episodes, has Mando actually shot anybody and killed them?
You're saying Mando, you mean Boba Fett, right?
Sorry, Boba Fett.
Yeah. Kill
Boba Fett, Mos Vespa. Yeah, Mos Vespa. Is that what it's actually called? I don't think it's called that. I think Mike's making a joke here. The Book of Boring, Mos Vespa. Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like, and I get what you're saying. He's out of his element for sure. But even being out of his element, Boba Fett is supposed to be. They sold us on the fact that Boba Fett is a badass. I had somebody make a comment a couple weeks ago saying, "Oh, well, it's your presumptions that he's a badass." Well, true, but at the same time, 40 years of comic books and video games and 40 years of lore that tells us that this guy is the meanest, baddest badass in the galaxy. Christ, he stands toe to toe with Vader. You know what I mean? Like, but he gets beat by sand people and carried in a chain by a kid. And anyway, I don't know. I'm having a hard time with the show. I feel like at least they got the environment right. The show looks and feels, other than the scooters, the Vespas are meh.
Wayne saying,
but I'm having a hard time here.
At least Ming Na Wen is badassery. Yeah, Ming Na, and she's immortal. I think her and Paul Rudd must sacrifice small animals on the same altar of whatever keeps them young, because they're both in their 50s and they both look like they're in their 30s, and I'm grotesquely jealous that I don't have enough money to look that good all the time. That was the darkest, most hardcore character for the longest time. Then after almost dying in the pit, he got a heart of gold. Yeah,
right.
And again, that's the flip side of that coin. If he's just the monosyllabic, barely speaking, hired killer villain, there's no empathy in the show. Like you're not going to root for that guy,
and
right?
I get that.
So they have to do something. They can't just have him be that guy. What is he going to do? He's going to have an hour-long episode where he says 5 things, kills 14 people, and then goes and has a drink. Like, that's not going to be a show.
I think to me they should have. No, for sure. But to me, I think they should have played on the fact that he's not a villain. Right? He's a bounty hunter, but he's not a villain.
Yeah, that's what the Valkyrie girl says. I don't know. I've been liking it. It fleshes out the character more. I tend to agree. I have been enjoying the show. My friend Michael there, Mike Killicon, says,
it's kind of funny that when the show started, you were not into it at all. And now you're saying you're kind of liking it. And when it started, I was like, oh yeah, it's amazing. You got to watch it. And now I'm not liking it anymore. It's funny how that.
Because I've had more time. Yeah, the first episode, it was a bunch of flashbacks, and I despise flashbacks and prequels and everything else. I don't care how we got here. I understand people want the journey. I don't care. I just want to see what's happening in the now. Especially since it takes place at the same time as The Mandalorian, like in the same time frame. Of course, I want to know what's going on now and see if there's going to be any crossover. And boy, did we get a crossover this week. For those of you that have watched this week's episode, I won't hand out any massive spoilers, but you all knew at the end of episode 4 you were going to get some Mando in episode 5.
Well, yeah, we heard the Mando theme song at the end of the episode, and so we knew he was coming.
But yeah, it's starting to grow on me, especially now that it looks like we've caught up with the current timeline. Like, it doesn't, like, they've told the tale of how he got to where he is now. So I can't imagine there's going to be a whole lot left in the way of flashbacks. We're just going to get to find out what's happening now. Yeah, I'm on board, man. I'll stick with it.
I believe there's only 6 episodes, correct? I think the next week is the final episode. Um, and I think I've said this a couple times now that I feel like the Book of Boba Fett is just a bridge between season 2 and season 3 of Mando. It's
Wa-
like a season
watch
2.5.
watch this week's episode. You'll think that even more.
Well, there you go. So I've been
Yeah.
saying this for a while now. I'm not even sure we'll get a second season of Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, her, Paul Angelino, Angela Bassett, Salma Hayek should get together and work on anti-aging creep. Yeah, exactly.
7 episodes, sir.
Is it 7 episodes?
It's 7 episodes. Canadian Comic Cutie. Spoilers. I didn't spoil anything. Settle down.
Well, we
but
all
it's-
knew Din was going to show up. I forget what the line is that he says at the end, but he says something to the effect of, we need to bring the Mando back to Boba Fett or whatever. Like, we need to make him a Mandalorian again or whatever that quote was. And then you heard the theme song for Mando come up, and
Oh
that's how the
yeah,
episode ended.
yeah. He just
So we
says
knew he was coming.
yeah, he's got lots of credits. He just needs muscle, and Ming-Na Wen says, "I know where we can get some muscle." And then
That's what it was. And then the Mando song came on. Yeah.
Raised by Wolves to return. Yes, Tim, absolutely. Raised by Wolves. Have you seen?
Well, that is coming back.
Yeah, so there is a trailer for season 2. What
Yeah.
a fantastically weird, awesome show that show
I
is.
have not watched it yet. I was worried. I was worried. I always get worried when some of these shows come out that we're going to get one season and then they're just going to cancel it without ever having an ending or a resolution.
You don't want to get invested.
Yeah, and this was one of these shows that I was like, I don't know that they're going to do much with this. And now they're getting a second season, and so I'm assuming people are liking it. So it might be worth now catching up to it. But
I really dug it, but it's like it's hard sci-fi. It's definitely not for the casual sci-fi viewer. It's got some pretty deep sci-fi roots in it that it relies upon. So that's my only suggestion to you. Don't watch it casually, like on just in the background while you're doing other stuff. You're going to have to focus on it to really get all the gist and nuance of what's happening.
Is it not a
Dancing with Banthas? Dancing with Banthas, yeah. Dancing with Banthas, yeah. Well, he hasn't fallen in love yet, but I'm sure that's coming along at some point. Sorry.
Is this an original story or is this based off a book?
That's a really great question. I don't know. It's Ridley Scott's producing it for HBO, so the production value is there. The acting is there.
Ridley Scott's producing this.
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Yeah. And I know he's been very hit and miss lately, but Firefly. Don't even get me started on Firefly, boy. I could do a whole podcast talking about nothing but Firefly.
I loved Firefly.
Dude,
that was an amazing show.
My first cosplay was Jane Cobb.
Yeah, that was an amazing show, and I don't understand. I mean, I understand. I mean, there's just not enough viewership, I guess, or they didn't think there was enough viewership. The problem with the way television, like traditional linear TV works, is it's very, very hard to properly gauge your audience. It's easy now with Netflix and Disney Plus, and they know exactly how many people are watching, right? Back then, you're based on I forget what they call them, but
Nielsen ratings.
Like Nielsen ratings, right? Yeah. It's like, which doesn't really tell you anything. So a lot of shows that were great shows that had an amazing following were getting canceled because they didn't have a good rating, right?
Yeah. Firefly is an amazing show. This is Body Heroes. Yeah, it is. I loved Firefly and Serenity. Same with me, Tim. Yeah. I mean, from what I understood, there was Cutie's like, you're welcome. Yeah. They gave Joss Whedon an option after canceling season 1 halfway through the season and airing the episodes out of order, by the way. They offered him a chance to either jump back on board and do a season 2 or to do a movie. And he chose to do a movie. And unfortunately, the movie wasn't a success either, even though the movie was great. And now the IP just languishes. Actually, didn't Fox own it? So doesn't that mean Disney owns it now?
Well, I don't know that for a fact. I'm gonna look that up. But
I remember
the thing with the movie is that the movie tried to retell the story.
Right.
The movie was not a continuation of the story. The movie was the story.
Yeah, well, I
And
only
it's
saw
like,
I saw the yeah.
well, why are you retelling the story in a different manner with all the same actors? It's like a reboot, but with the same actors. It's like, what the?
I'll tell you why, because I saw the movie first, and the movie led me to the show, and I know a lot of people
Oh,
that
did you really?
came yeah, I know a lot of people that came to it that way.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yes,
there is
you know
people
what? They
that
are owned by
believe
Disney, and it is on Disney Plus. So technically,
yeah.
Disney could decide, hey, let's restart Firefly. Now, I
I
can't
know
see that happening.
before yeah, I know before
Um,
Nathan Fillion kinda gave up on it, he said if he ever won the Powerball, if he played the Powerball and he won it, he would buy the rights to it from Fox and do it again type of thing or bring it back or whatever, but he has since said, "Finally, it's over. Give it up. It's not happening." But
and
yeah,
all of the actors are still around. Like I'm looking at the cast, and they're all,
they are.
and
Tim
none of them are
Stoppard
too big that you couldn't bring back. Really,
no. No, no, no. It would be a matter of whether they're available or not,
I have
right?
a feeling they probably would be. If you all told them, hey, we're going to write you a big fat paycheck to come back and do another season of Firefly.
They need to do so a whole new crew if they do. Yeah, that's what Tim's saying. I would imagine it would probably be a
It would
reboot
probably be a reboot completely if they did. Yes.
before it would, but it wouldn't have the same flavor. And now too, see, the problem is it's a Joss Whedon thing, and now his name is anathema in Hollywood because of all the stuff that he's been accused of. And
Who? Sorry.
Joss Whedon.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that he would be involved in it.
No, he wouldn't, but it's his like it literally is his creation, and now he's, you know, pretty terrible. Pretty terrible human, it turns out. He just I don't know if you guys have seen it, but he just did an interview for a major publication where he finally talked about all the accusations against him when it came to Buffy and Justice League or whatever, and he just poo-pooed it all. Like he didn't own up to anything, didn't apologize for anything. He just was like, yeah, they misunderstood it. I'm an old school director. Get over it. And so yeah, his star was already on the down low. I think he's all done now. Especially that. I don't know who his publicist is, but whoever it is should have been like, don't go do this article, and he did it anyway, and it's atrocious. So if you get a couple minutes and you want to see a really bad take on that whole situation, well, publication, I want to read this. I am so sorry. Just look up Joss Whedon talks Justice League or something like that. It came out like last week, so it'll be right
It was longer than
towards the
last week,
top of the
but yes,
news.
it came out in the
I
last few
it,
weeks for sure.
it's very very recent, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very very terrible. So
Wayne says, "Our body hero. I was able to meet Gina Torres and Nathan Fillion. They were so cool. I've never met either. Um,
I've met
Tim
Jules.
says he's bad news. Yeah, you know what? I mean, in today's climate, listen, you'll see him again. Don't even worry about it. Josh Sweden is going to come back to do more stuff.
Oh
The
no,
same way that what's his face, Guardians of the Galaxy.
James
Um,
got
James Gunn is back.
a bit of a different
I
situation.
mean, well,
What was that about the article? Just talking about Joss Whedon and especially with the accusations that were thrown his way for the filming, the reshoots of Justice League, and he finally addressed what Ray Fisher and Gal Gadot and other people were saying, and he basically threw it back at them like, "Nope, you misunderstood. It's your bad. I'm fine. I'm just an old school director. I'm a hard ass. Screw you. I do what I want."
well, hang on, hang on. He said that Gal Gadot. He basically said she was lying, and that's not what he said to her at all.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
yeah, yeah.
And then the Ray Fisher stuff, he basically said Ray Fisher sucked as an actor and that he should never have been on the film, basically.
And that's what I mean. At least
Yeah.
with James Gunn, he apologized for tweets he made 10 years ago that were in poor taste. There wasn't a single sorry in Joss Whedon's article in his response to whatever happened. I don't think we're going to be seeing Mr. Whedon again anytime soon. And I
Eh,
think we're better for it. Even though he's made some amazing, amazing content. I mean, just Buffy and Firefly alone are two insanely great shows. And the first Avengers. I mean, come on.
yeah, he's made some great content. He's also made some really, really, really shitty content,
Mediocre stuff. Yeah, no, no, no. You're
let's
right.
be
No,
honest.
yeah, yeah. No, no, you're not
I
wrong.
mean, I'm not to take away anything from what he's done because he's made some great shows. Another show that was great was with the girl from Firefly. What was that show called?
Dollhouse?
Dollhouse. That was a show that I think was canceled way too early. I
Amazing.
loved that show. It is amazing. Now the comments are coming in fast and furious.
Oh, Dan.
Tim
Big.
is saying even in hang on,
No, go ahead.
even in Buddy, he was emotionally and verbally abusive to young female on set of Buddy. I don't know. I haven't heard of that. I
Buffy.
don't. Oh, you
Yeah,
mean Buffy?
Yeah.
Sorry. It's very possible. I haven't
Well,
heard any of that, but it wouldn't
Charisma
surprise me.
Charisma Carpenter came out and did a whole piece on what a piece of
I
shit he
remember that actually. Yes,
that
yes, that
was
was a
on
while ago,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
a long
yeah.
time ago, but it was just after Ray Fisher had leveled all his accusations and stuff, so
Yeah, I think his time has passed. I mean, potentially. I mean, listen, big time directors like that don't stay big time forever. You know, very, very few big time directors live on to direct for 40 years, right? Most of them are popular for, you know, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, and then, you know,
yeah.
world passes them on, right?
You've only got so many Spielbergs, you've only got so many,
Well, exactly.
you know, Daily.
Shop handmade tail. Hey, listen, Julie or Jolie?
That would be Julie.
That would be Julie. Hi, Julie. Dollhouse did end too soon. I completely agree. And sorry, I don't know both of you enough to tell you apart. So sorry.
I know them very well, and I'm terrible at it too, so
Well, you did it on the podcast. You were calling them. Yeah.
listen,
Did
listen,
Julie get pissed at you because
listen.
of that?
No,
Yeah.
Jolie got pissed at
Oh,
me, but
Jolie got pissed at you. Well, there you go.
yeah.
Like Mike Mason, people are past their time creatively. They are. Dollhouse was so good. It really was.
I haven't seen a single
Uh,
second of that show. I guess I should watch it.
Body Heroes agree. I pray James Gunn doesn't step a toe out of line. Well, I mean, how? Right? I mean,
Like,
what does that mean?
shit. Did you read the tweets that he tweeted that he got
I did
fired
not.
for? Oh, dude.
I did not.
They're in really bad taste.
Here's my
I'm not
thing about
saying it
that,
was right.
right?
I'm not condemning or condoning, but
No,
those
no.
tweets,
But
woo,
here's my thing about that. Those tweets were made, what, 11 years ago?
something like that, 10, 11 years
You're going
ago.
to tell me Disney didn't know about those tweets before hiring him? They couldn't bother to go look up those tweets before
I
hiring him?
I don't know.
And then after the years after the fact, after he's already made 2 movies for them, then they're going to fire him? It's like, come on. Like, I almost feel like it's being hypocritical at that point, right? It's like, fuck, if you're going to hire somebody, do your due diligence. If you can't do your due diligence, then it's on you. That's the way I see it. It's on them.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
a big fan of Disney these days. Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, Scorsese and Tarantino are also past their prime.
I agree.
So, gentlemen,
I
you
agree.
guys are, I mean, Tarantino, I'll get on board with. He's just basically become a parody of himself. Scorsese, I'll watch anything Scorsese puts on film. I don't even care.
Not unpopular. I agree. Yeah, I agree too.
The Irishman was brilliant. I love The Irishman. It was brilliant. I haven't seen a really bad Scorsese film, so and I have not enjoyed all the Tarantino films. That's for sure. So, but the Tarantino films I did enjoy, I enjoyed a lot. If that makes you feel any better. He's almost done anyway. Tarantino said he's only doing, I think, one more film and he's done. Scorsese will do films till he dies.
Which I believe Tarantino has only fully directed a handful of movies, has he not?
I think 10 is what he's looking to.
Yeah, he's produced a bunch and I think he's written for a bunch, but I think he's only directed a handful of them.
Well,
and
he
you're
gets
right. I think he did say to make 1 or 2 more and then that's it.
I think he gets credit for True Romance a lot, and he wrote it, but he didn't direct True Romance. Somebody else directed. I don't remember who off the top of my head, but it was not Mr. Tarantino. But he did write it. Still make fun movies, but nothing new. Yeah, no, that's cool. I get it. They have a very specific style, and that style is a popular style that people enjoy. Sometimes, like I said, with Tarantino, you can become a parody of yourself. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I know that movie was lauded. Everybody loved it. I did not enjoy it. I literally thought it was it was like someone shot a parody of a Quentin Tarantino movie. If you were to do that, that would be for me Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It's funny you say that. That's so damn bang on.
Yeah.
It felt like a parody of a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yep. Some type of stuff, nothing really innovative or creative, but Tarantino knew it and said he was only going to make so many and then stop. Yeah, no, that's fair. Oh, who do we got joining? Vardo Knives is joining. Hey, Bobby, how you doing? Ray Gray Cosplay. Very, very talented cosplayer, by the way. That's someone you should be following. Her foam work is outstanding. Rachel, how you doing? Ranger 1CA, what's going on? And Body Heroes has a question. Here's a question. If there was a show that wanted to be a part of acting-wise, what show or movie would it be? So, JS, I'm going to throw that one to you. If there was a show that you could be on, or a movie, an IP that you could be an actor on,
I mean, there's a ton. There's a ton of them.
Narrow
I
approach.
mean, I don't. I think it's no secret that I'm a huge Trekkie and a huge Star Wars fan. So anything Trek or Star Wars, would be up there. The Expanse.
So
The
good.
Expanse is one of those shows that keeps impressing you. It's one of those shows that keeps getting better and better. Uh, Adam Savage got to cameo on The Expanse. Lucky fucker. Like, it's a small, tiny role, but it was amazing. Like, something about that show and that cast. Like, I love that cast. They're amazing.
That's fair.
Um,
What about a movie IP? Pick a movie IP. So do a show and do a movie. Or
Star Wars.
it would be Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, it would be something Star Wars related. Although I'm a little bit iffy about saying a Star Wars movie now. It could have been in a Star Wars movie back when I was a kid. Yeah. This era of Star Wars movie, maybe not so excited about being in. You know what? I'm gonna throw this one for a complete loop. Fast and the Furious.
Well,
I'm a geek, but I'm also a car geek.
that's fair.
Always been a car geek from playing with little Hot Wheels when I was a kid. I had a suitcase full of actually I still have a suitcase full of Hot Wheels from when I was a kid.
This is my shock face. Everybody, you ready?
Yeah. I've always been a car geek. And Fast and the Furious turned car movies into fantasy action. I loved that. Even if it's not about the cars anymore, it's just completely ridiculous. I don't care. It's
Hey,
fun.
man. It's
The same way that you watch a fantasy movie is absolutely unrealistic. Well, to me, Fast and the Furious is a fantasy movie for car guys.
cool, man.
And yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
What about you?
I'm just running through here. Yeah, so good. Cutie called you a giant nerd. That makes sense. The Expanse is great, and it's filmed in Toronto. Yes, I have seen some friends doing some
Yeah.
extra work on that show. Hello, my name is Victoria, and I'm here to audition for the role of young Ahsoka in the upcoming Ahsoka show. She would make a brilliant Ahsoka. My buddy Stephen M. Smith joined. How you doing, Stephen? Good to see you. What else have we got? Nice. Haven Creatives joined. Hello. I think I enjoy the ridiculousness of that franchise. Yeah, I watched the very first Fast and the Furious. I've never watched another one, and I don't think I'm going to because I am not a car guy, so it's just not my cup of tea. And I think Vin Diesel is a bit of a meathead.
Totally.
And I'm so glad that The Rock joined the cast. He joined and left.
Yeah, he's no longer in the cast, and he's basically went on not on live TV, but he went on the record to say he would never work on another Fast and the Furious franchised movie ever again.
Yeah.
He thought that Vin Diesel was a complete and utter douchebag, and kept making fun of not Ja Rule, but
Ludicrous.
Not Ludacris either. The comedian guy.
Kevin Hart?
His name. No, Kevin Hart's not in the Fast and the Furious. I forget his name
now,
but anyway, there's one
them.
of them where even during filming, a lot of the actual scenes of The Rock making fun of him in the different movies are real live takes of The Rock showing up and just throwing some bullshit at the guy, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And they kept it in the movie because it was so funny.
Yeah, with Tyrese Gibson or whatever.
Tyrese Gibson, exactly.
Tyrese, there you go. Yeah, I don't know what my you know what? I don't know. That's a really good question as far as a TV or a movie property that I would want to be part of. That's an interesting.
I want to know what you guys. This is supposed to be about you guys, and you guys aren't answering the questions. What movie do you guys in franchise do you want to be in?
Well, the dork side definitely said she wants to be Ahsoka, young Ahsoka. I think that's brilliant. I would of course say Obi-Wan, but I think the guy they got doing that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think he's got it covered. I think he's okay.
I think he's all right.
I think he'll be all right. Mike, you know what? V, that's one that I forgot to mention earlier because I even posted on one of your pictures this week about V. V was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. The original V. It was amazing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just saw Mike say V.
No, it's good. No, Tim saying Black Mirror. That's bold. Of course, Julie saying Harry Potter because Julie is probably the biggest Potterhead that I've ever met in my life. Yeah, you know what? I honestly, I don't think I could pick. It's really. I would also like to play Belle in a movie, please and thank you. Make it happen ASAP. Well, I don't have the power, so If they do an Alita sequel, I hope they don't. That movie was trash.
No, it was not. What are you talking
Okay,
about? It was a great movie.
awful film. Um, yeah, I don't know.
I'd love to see a bunch of Ontario GTA cosplayers playing extras in The Boys as part of the sevens. Yeah, you know what? That's actually kind of funny. I would love for something like that to happen, where you get a bunch of cosplayers to actually appear in a TV show in costume. That would be amazing.
That's true. That's true. Little Owl Cosplay. Join Squishy Octo Love. Hey guys, good to see you.
Cutie's saying I'm already the star of the biggest drama ever called A Life of a Cosplayer. Well, yeah. Join the
Shit.
club.
No kidding.
Gina, you better hide the baby.
Yeah, that's the
that
line
big
that
ass
you're
forehead.
talking about.
That's
That was
exactly the line I was talking about.
so for
But there's
me,
a couple of references in those movies
yeah,
that were complete improv, where The Rock The Rock can yap with the best of them, right? I mean,
he was a wrestler for all those years, and he was great on the stick. I remember watching him back in the day.
exactly.
Probably, I'm going to say some sort of a DC property, both TV and movie. I'm such a giant DC nerd, and DC just doesn't get enough love. So they rebooted The Watchmen, and they needed a comedian. I'm your guy, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. And on TV, like a
I think
really
Mike
cool.
was asking about, if you could cameo on a show, or if you could have like
Oh,
a
I don't want
background.
What's a
You're not gonna
cameo?
be
What are
like,
you
come
talking
on,
about?
Jeff. You're not gonna be the
No, this is
star of The
fantasy,
Watchmen here.
bro. No, this is fantasy. I can do whatever the hell I want. The dork side can be Ahsoka, but I can't be the comedian. Come on, that's not cool.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. We've
Can't
got
tell
Little
about
Owl Cosplay that's joined that says, "Hey, how are you?" Heaven Creatives. The licensing would be crazy, but worth it. I'm not sure the licensing for what. I would have to go back up through the comments now. But I'm not sure the licensing for what. Cutie, didn't Jay and Silent Bob do that with a bunch of cosplayers? I don't know. Did they?
I don't know. Maybe.
I didn't know that. Tim says anything HBO.
Granted, I mean, they spend the money. The production values are high. Yes, they did. One of my local cosplay friends was in their movie. Oh yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Ah, very cool.
Yeah.
Altered Carbon. Altered Carbon, Mike, was great. Not Mike, sorry, Wayne. Was great for the first season. Second season is a little bit weird to me. Movie DC or Marvel TV leverage. I don't know what leverage is.
Yeah, neither do I.
IP The Expanse for sure. Yeah, The Expanse is. I really hope they. Let's talk about The Expanse for a minute. I don't know if everybody here has seen the last season of The Expanse yet. I think Jay and Silent Bob used cosplayers for most of their recent movies. That's very possible. I haven't watched the last season of The Expanse because I was waiting for the whole season to come out so that I could binge it.
Well,
Now that it ended, 2 weeks ago now,
Okay.
I'm going to be getting through it. But I know there's a lot of Expanse fans. I want to hear what you guys had to think of the final season, but I want to hear from you first.
Okay.
What did you think of the last season? How did you enjoy? Did you enjoy how it ended? Did it end right for you?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I understand why they ended it where they ended it, because in the book timeline, they take a 30-year jump after Babylon's Ashes in the books. And so if they were to do that, it would have to be with. The problem is they start and dedicate time to a plot storyline that doesn't pay off until after the time jump. That doesn't pay off until the final 3 books. Like, they lay all the groundwork for the final book trilogy, but we're not getting the final book trilogy on screen. So I felt it took away from what could it, because we were only getting 6 episodes. It took away from really rounding out and giving us more of the storyline we know, the people we love, and getting us to a satisfactory ending. Did I have to grab a box of Kleenex at the very end, the very last shot of that show? You bet your ass I did, because it was the way they did the very final shot of the show was chef's kiss, as my friend Mike would say. It was brilliant. But there's a side storyline that they pretty much start all 6 episodes with that doesn't go anywhere. It just stops. It pulls a Dune. It just stops in the middle because the payoff for that whole storyline doesn't happen for 30 years down the road. So that was a weird choice. I don't know why they bothered to put that in and waste time, precious time and production money on it if they can't bring it to any kind of a conclusion. But everything else is exactly what you would expect from the Expanse.
It's funny that you say that because I'm hearing a lot of that comparison actually to Dune, where it's they end it, but the story's not done. Like you get left off with a story undone.
Yeah, I'm not giving out any specifics, guys. I'm not talking. I've not mentioned a single
Yeah,
specific thing, so I'm not going to give any spoilers because JS hasn't seen it either. So
yeah.
that's
So Black
not
Captain Kirk says it was great. Squishy Octolove, hey there, and thanks for joining us. Oh no, I haven't finished it. I need to stop watching. No, don't worry, we're not. We're not going
not
to
going to
talk
drop
about
any
any of
spoilers.
the specifics.
Uh,
Ended with too many loose ends, but but for the main characters, it was a good ending. Well, that's the thing because it is the end of the story for the main characters. It's not the end of the story of the Expanse. The book was pretty good on Sci-Fi, then got great on Amazon. The show, sorry, was pretty good on Sci-Fi, then got great on Amazon. I agree. There's a series I'm currently working, co-writing, and co-producing called Tales of Grunge. Sorry, Tales of Grunge City. Stay tuned for that. Really, now Wayne, I want to know more about that. Angry that this. Sorry, Tim says again. Angry that the storyline. Oh, I lost it again.
You are terrible at scrolling. I am going to say, oh, agree. The storyline was silly to introduce unless they wrap it up, which unfortunately they're not going
Yeah.
to. Hypergate Cosplay joined us. Hello, Mary.
Hey, how are you?
Another former guest on the show. Haven Creatives, maybe I should be watching The Expanse. Yes, absolutely. If you're a fan of good acting, a realistic portrayal of space travel and sci-fi, you will absolutely love it. By the way, Messiah, I saw your Die Hard on a Budget video, which I loved. Well done. Yes, thank you very much. We had a blast shooting that. We shot it in 2 days. All my scenes were shot on Saturday, and all of John McClane's scenes were shot on Sunday. So we were never in the same building at the same time.
Oh, were you really not? You never were with him?
No, never
That's
met the man,
hilarious,
never saw him at all. We shot all my stuff on Saturday and all his
dude. I
stuff on.
love your accent on that. That was amazing.
He the guy that shot it, my good friend Daniel Torres, he messaged me out of the blue and he's like, "Do you have a blonde wig?" I said, "No." And he goes, "How's your Alan Rickman impression?" I was like, "I can work on it." And he's like, "Done. You're my Hans Gruber." I'm like, "For what?" And
There
he
you
sent
go.
this clip, this hyper clip of Die Hard in 1 minute. So that's what we did. We did Die Hard 1 minute, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with how he
Listen,
threw
I'll
it
be
together.
honest. When it ended, I wish it was like 5 times as long. Like, it was amazing. It should have been longer.
It was fun. It was super, super fun. And
Yeah,
yeah, I was in and out of that shoot in 2.5 hours. I got in, I did my impressions, I got out, and it was great. So
yeah. Navigate Cosplay says, "Just lovely. Hope you both are well too." Jeff is being grumpy as usual, but I'm pretty good.
yeah, sorry.
Let's see here. Hi, friends. Yeah, everybody's saying hi to Hypergate Cosplay. She's
Yeah.
the popular one here around here. We're
Everybody,
just,
everybody loves Marianne. I don't blame her. She's very lovable to have. Is JB going to play Peter, your brother, in Die Hard with a Vengeance in 1 minute? I hope so. Do you think he would make a good he
You
would
mean
make
JS or JB? If you mean
a
JS, I mean, hey, I'm up for that.
yeah, yeah. Can you do a good Jeremy Irons from
No,
Die
I
Hard?
cannot. I can't even do a British accent.
Well, we're
So
gonna have to get Tim up here too, because he can obviously be the Samuel L. Jackson character. I think that would work out pretty well. So
petition for them to do the whole movie. Yeah, hell's yes. I would totally do that.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't my movie. I was just asked to come in and shoot some stuff and pencil line my beard and do my hair up all big and yeah, a sequel. Yeah. The Grumpy Messiah. Yeah, Body Heroes is saying I should change my name to the Grumpy Messiah. Yeah, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong.
That's not bad, actually.
Yeah,
That'd be
it's not
pretty
bad.
funny. Even
Next
just for a day, the Grumpy Messiah. Next, you know what? Next podcast, your name
podcast,
tag should be the Grumpy Messiah. There you go.
the Sleepy Grumpy Messiah.
The sleepy grumpy Messiah. Hey,
Yeah. Hey,
listen, we're like 50 minutes in here, and God, we've got to like through nothing of the stuff I wanted to talk about tonight.
well, we knew we
Um,
were going to be interacting and stuff was going to go all over the place. So
for
that's
sure, and that's okay. It's totally cool because I mean the show is about these guys tonight. But one thing we don't really talk about
oh
is gaming because
right,
frankly, I don't have time to game.
right.
I don't think Jeff, you're a big gamer either. I think you play a couple of maybe games, but you're not a
I do
huge gamer.
hours. Yeah, I don't have a console.
Well,
Everything
yeah, I mean, I have a PS4 that I just got recently,
Mhm.
frankly. That's funny enough because my buddy got a PS5, so he gave me his PS4
Nice.
just so that I could play Arkham Knight because that was the only one of the Arkham games I hadn't played. But I'm not a gamer. But last week or the week before, it was announced that Microsoft was buying Activision.
Yes.
So Microsoft, listen to this for example, right? So Microsoft already owned a bunch of properties, right?
Yes. They
From
bought Bethesda.
properties like Halo, Gears of War, Forza, Fable, the Age of series, the Wasteland series, the Tycoon series. Like they own a lot of big name properties. Now they own the Overwatch series, Diablo, all of the Call of Duties, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Fallout, Doom, Elder Scrolls. Are they Disneyfying friggin' games?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And I guess the Sony stock plummeted after
Well, duh.
yeah, because they only have now something like less than 20% of the market left, and now Microsoft basically has everything else. So yeah, Disneyfying is a good way to put it, actually.
I mean, it almost feels like Microsoft is trying to snuff out Sony by just saying, "Well, fine, you want to keep making consoles, we'll just buy all the games."
Yeah. Yeah. And to be fair, they don't make any money on the console. Neither company has ever made a dime. Most of them lose money on the consoles and the hardware. They only make money on the software and the licensing agreements. So,
Well, it's the
and
licensing,
now
really. Yeah,
Microsoft owns all that. So Sony's
yeah.
going to have to crank it out there. And now the funny part here is because like something like Call of Duty, like Sony has to basically go to Microsoft and be like, please, sir, please, may I have some? May I have some more? Because
Yeah.
some of those properties were not exclusive to one platform or another. They were multi-platform.
No.
So, but now
I mean, just
Microsoft.
think about Overwatch, Call of Duty, and World of Warcraft. Just those three properties.
Now, yeah, no, exactly. Yes, yeah. Two of those are Blizzard properties, and then one of those is an Activision property. And yeah, it's so
Well,
they were
Blizzard is
already
technically Activision. They're all the
now.
studios are Activision, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Blizzard was better when they were just Blizzard, but we won't get into all the problems that have ensued with the folks who are at Blizzard. But
Black Captain Kirk is going back to the Expanse here, saying, "What did you mention? Wait, did you mention the big Easter egg reference in the Expanse finale? Make sure people look for that. No, and please don't. Don't
remember,
spoil
no
it.
spoilers. But yeah,
You might need to. Yeah. I might need to get an Xbox now. Well, exactly. After 360, I was only PS, but now I'm going back to Xbox. Well, I mean, how can you not?
you got to go the way the winds are
All the
blowing.
good games are going to be on Xbox now, right? All the good anyway. The Dark Side is pretty sure it's for their game streaming thing.
Yeah.
What game streaming thing?
So
Is
a
it like
couple of
Steam or
different,
whatever it's called?
yeah, a couple of different, and somebody else, Walmart, believe it or not, everybody wants to get in on the streaming thing, and if you can't produce TV and movie content, now they're talking about streaming games, a la Steam. But
Yeah.
a stream, you won't even install it on a deck or a box. You'll just live stream the game as it happens over a broadband connection. So that's the next,
Yeah.
it's the next evolution of what's supposed to be coming.
Yeah, because right now I don't think our internet infrastructure can support that right now. Although we said that 10 years ago about movies, and look at what it's like now.
Yeah.
So
Remember when Netflix was a box that you went and rented a DVD out of, and then you had to, or they would mail it to you and you would mail it back. That was Netflix when Netflix started, kids.
yeah, Netflix was a
Well,
red box on the corner of the street,
let me
basically.
tell you
Yeah.
how this used to go. Back in my day,
Uh,
we had to get movies mailed to us and then mail it back.
yeah. Body Heroes is saying, "Hey JS, may I suggest since you got a PS4, get Horizon Zero Dawn. It's an amazing game since you love the Arkham series. I've never even heard of this game. I'll have to check that out. If it's using the Arkham Knight engine, which is very different than the rest of the series, I gotta say I am not a huge fan. The Arkham Knight is the only one in that series that I did not finish to the end. I mean, let's be honest, it's hard to finish the Arkham games, but City I finished at 96%.
The dark side says old, and then Julie says, "Yes, we're so old." Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well,
I
you
am
know,
the old guy here, and
we're
not
not
just the
all
grumpy.
as old as Jeff, but yes.
That's right. That's yeah. You're not even multiples of old as Jeff is, but that's all right. That's what I'm bringing to the. That's why we have young people on the show all the time, so we can have a
So
broad range.
exactly, I want to go right back to the first thing we started talking about here at the beginning of the podcast, which was cosplay. Because we haven't heard a lot from people about what cosplays they're working on right now. Because I want to get everybody's thoughts. Are you excited for well, if we're going to get cons or not this year, I guess that's the first question. You think we're actually going to get cons? Are Toronto Comic Con and Toronto Fan Expo going to happen? And what are you guys planning?
They're still going on about old. Wayne says we're a classic.
Not old, classic. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Then yelling at the top of her lungs, Cutie says old balls.
Old balls. Well, you know.
Old isn't a bad thing, though. Well, I mean, you know.
I guess it depends who you're talking about.
Yeah, it is when you can hurt yourself napping. I can tell you that. That's
yeah. Listen, when you're stretching to put your shoe on, and you know you pull a muscle, you're getting old. Black Cat, the egg incubator for frog. Oh yeah. So what are you building that out of? I'm curious how you're building the incubator.
for those of you
Frog Lady.
those not seeing, Hypergate Cosplay is saying that she's going to be making the egg incubator for the Frog Lady from the second season of The Mandalorian. So, and Cutie is saying she's got her Calgary ticket spot. Yeah. So while Hypergate's coming up with the answer to that, yeah, I mean they announced another guest. They announced John Cusack for Toronto Comic Con in 2 months.
Yeah, they're announcing people, so they're figuring they're moving forward. But
when it happened, if they're going to put the con on, I'm going. I was literally today working on my little list of characters that I'm going to be. You can't see that. Yeah, little list of characters that I'm going to be.
Black Widow, Green Lantern. Oh, you've got a Green Lantern.
So I do have a Green Lantern. Yeah, Hal Jordan. So someone's
did you get into so when Anthony made the Green Lantern cosplay meetup at Fan Expo, I want to say 3 years ago, were you in part of that? No,
I didn't have the suit then. I only got the suit.
Okay, fair enough.
But it's my favorite superhero of all time. So,
oh, there you go. Hypergate Cosplay says I'm hopeful, but not necessarily optimistic. I miss it though. Well, yeah, I'm not 100% hopeful as well, but you know, we'll see.
Saying, plastic food storage jar, LED lights, and foam. Looking into 3D printing though, so that's good for her Frog Lady egg incubator.
Yeah,
Dork said, I'm actually going to do a Baby Yoda cosplay eventually, maybe soon. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Body Heroes. I'm still doing cosplay, whether there's a con or not. 2 Marvel comic cosplays and 2 or 4 DC cosplays. Well,
wow.
Listen, yeah, friends don't let friends cosplay Marvel. DC for life. It's good. I want to.
I can't believe these people working on so many cosplays at the same time. I haven't even started a new cosplay yet.
That's because you have the most badass cosplay of all time behind you. You don't. You never need to do anything else, right?
Well, I don't look. I don't want to wear the same cosplay over and over again, right? Like I don't want to just like my thing is making, right? I like the making part.
Oh, I'm teasing you. I'm just saying. Beat yourself up for not starting anything when you've got one of the best cosplays I've ever seen standing behind you. So,
oh, fair enough. Thank you, good sir. Cutie says I want to come. I'm worried about them canceling right after I book flights. Well, yeah,
fair.
Mike totally. Crepes can't wait. Crepes. The crepe vendor. Like we never even made it in there. It was just stupid. Like, why might I gotta line up for fucking crepes? Like, there's like a 20-minute lineup. Like, screw that. Marvel slander.
Hypergate. And then Meg coming from the guy who has Thor, Cap, and Spidey. Listen, and Cable. I don't care. It's fine. I can make fun of other people for doing Marvel. That doesn't mean I won't. Do as I say, not as I do.
Let me see here. Body Hero says, "Hey, Hyper, contact Read Props if you need the incubator." I have a feeling she's probably going to want to make it, but hey, good tip.
Said will do, Wayne. Trying it out myself first. My Peacemaker helmet is made by Read.
Oh, Props. There you go.
Read's a super.
I think it came out pretty good. Yeah,
dude, his Mandalorian looks like he walked off the set of the Mandalorian, and he did.
Was he the one at Fan Expo? The crazy Mando at Fan Expo? Yeah.
Yeah, his stuff is like ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Q says, if I book and they cancel, can we please plan shoots? Well, I mean, I'm assuming you're talking to Jeff there. Obviously. Mike Worsts. I'm not sure Worsts what. And if I come and it's a go, let's plan shoots again. Are you okay? Is Cutie okay?
Maybe she's having a stroke.
I think she's having a seizure or something. We'll do Wayne trying to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My hotel's booked. So I'm going to Toronto. That's just what's going to happen. So if we're all there and people want to do shoots and get food and stuff, that could be a thing that happens. Absolutely. And I'm
Yeah, I
sure
mean, I'm gonna
guy
go
forward
regardless, at least for one
and
day.
yeah, exactly. So,
And I mean, whether I'm actually dressed up for that one day or am I more in a casual cosplay, I mean, who knows? But
so
Hyper
you
says
never,
same. My room is booked as well, or
yeah,
my room is booked too.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm lucky enough; I don't have to close enough that I can actually drive home that night.
I'm not telling everybody where my hotel room this time is though, since
Well, you
JS.
didn't last time either.
I did actually, but they changed it on me last. Remember the podcast where we were on with
Oh,
Anthony?
that's right. They did change it on you. That's right. That's why
Last
we
time.
had no party at your freaking hotel room. There was no. It
Man.
was all Jeff's fault if there was no party at Fan Expo last year.
Yeah,
It's his
Wayne
fault.
saying count me in. Mike Killicon. Yeah, we go to Steam Whistle. That's our thing. So in the
Yeah,
beer
I
garden,
missed out on that. We were too busy getting mugged.
beers. Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen again for sure. But yeah, hopefully Toronto happens. Toronto Comic Con in March, and if that does not happen, then hopefully we'll get Fan Expo in August. Because if neither one of those happens, I'm going to be a very very sad panda. Because
Mhm.
I know the online stuff is great, and I love doing this and interacting with you guys on Instagram and doing the podcast and stuff. But I need to get out and interact with people when I cosplay. That's for me. That's what cosplay is bringing that experience to other people and getting in touch with other fandoms and geeking out about stuff live and in person with people. So I need that. So hopefully we'll have it, and we'll see what goes on.
You knew the Corgi 2016. Oh, well. Ashley is in the chat. This is my niece, by the way. I think I'm cosplay creating blocked. So there actually is going to be a con because I'm feeling unmotivated to do. Okay, you know what? That's funny. I actually wanted to talk about this. Everybody's motivation. How are you guys finding the motivation in the middle of a pandemic when we're unsure if cons are happening? How are you guys finding the motivation to keep making and building? Because, like Ashley's saying here, it's almost for me anyway, it's very, very hard to find that drive to just get started. So how's everybody doing it?
That's fair. Cutie saying looking at flights, fingers crossed for it to go for sure. The dark side saying I need a con to happen when it's warm outside. I mean, yes and no. I sweat like a hog, so I die anytime.
Yeah, that's what Fan Expo is bad for, is it's
Yeah.
so freaking hot every year. I mean, it's yeah.
Michael talking Dragon Con. Yeah, I know you've got some
Oh,
tickets.
I would love to go to Dragon Con.
Yeah, he's going to try to do Dragon Con that weekend, and then the next weekend do Fan Expo, and he's mental. There's been too many cold conventions in a row. I miss that. Cons are so much fun and get to meet so many people. Saying Cutie, absolutely, I agree, Cutie. I have to have that. That's my
Doing
motivation.
fun challenges.
Yeah,
And maybe that's the thing, right? I think I just need. I'm the kind of guy who likes to. I need the pressure. When I've got pressure on me, that's when I perform the best. And I think that's a good point. If I set myself some fun challenges, I think that might help me get going. If I
I
don't
think.
create,
Yeah, go. Yeah, exactly what I was talking
yeah,
about.
Hypergate Cosplay was saying, I think if I don't create it, I'd definitely be worse off. But I chip away so it doesn't seem so overwhelming. Yeah, I, 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 I'm generally the same way. Even if I'm not working on something, or even if I am working on something big, but I'm only doing this much, I'll just chip away at it slowly just to keep my mind into making. I find it's the getting started that's tough. I don't know about you, but getting that motivation to start and just get going and get the fire up the damn 3D printer or go buy
Yeah,
some fucking sandpaper and
well,
like
there's got to be a passion. If I don't have a passion for the character, then yeah, that's what I do too. I'll just languish, and it'll
it's
just
fair
never happen.
enough.
There's been a couple of characters that I've been planning literally for years that I haven't even started yet because I'm just like, eh. But then a character will come along, like Cable will come along. I'm like, okay, that's happening. I don't care what has to happen. I'm going to be Cable as soon as I possibly can. So yeah, sometimes it's just that the character and the passion. But I like what Marianne's saying because it can be a catharsis to work on it. Even if you don't have a con coming up, it can be nice to have that focus on something and not just sitting here drearily wondering about the pandemic and what's going to happen. It can help distract and keep your sanity as far as that goes. So I've been researching accessories for Black Widow literally all day, trying to find all the proper
Mhm.
accessories for the version that I'm going to do and stuff. So
I cannot wait to see that.
well, it's going to
Seriously, I cannot wait to see that. Um,
yeah.
I there are some good gender bends out there, but I feel like Jeff in a Black Widow is gonna be the gender bend.
Well,
I
well,
can't. I'm not.
we'll
Listen, I'm not.
see.
I'm not messing. I'm not joking. Like I'm
No, no,
serious.
no. I
I
appreciate what you're
can't
saying.
wait to see that.
It's going to
That's gonna
be,
be awesome.
sure, it's going to be something.
There's a lot of comments here flying by that we don't
Okay,
have
yeah, yeah.
time. Body Heroes is commenting a lot. Uh, with
Dork
me, the
said,
event gives me gives me. I guess he's trying to say gives me the motivation to work on cosplay. Take the time
yeah,
to do it right without doing a con crunch. I prefer taking my time, and
yeah.
I completely agree with that. And that was my point about the Transformers earlier, where we don't want to get into that con crunch feel building Transformers. We want to do them right. He then goes on saying, "Oh, very true. Cons is like a geek family reunion, making new friends, seeing old friends, cosplay love, baby." Yeah, I'm not sure what a response that was to, but yeah, totally.
It's the whole conversation we're having. The dork side saying, see, I'm the opposite. Con Crunch has inspired full cosplays in days. I don't know why I find it so hard to work on something for a long time. I know a lot of people that are like that too, that the crunch is what drives them in the first place. That timeline, that deadline that they know they've got to get it done by a certain time. So V for Jeff. No, not V. You just settle down over there.
I mean, if I could find a proper V costume, I would totally do a V group. I would love that. That's
Contact Michael. He will set
yeah.
you up because he's been bugging me to do it for 3 years now, and I keep trying to.
Hypergate Cosplay says it's kind of like a band-aid effect. Making something makes it feel like I'm heading to an event at a con. Yeah, I mean, and it's the whole if you just do it, you'll do it. You know what I mean? If the more I say I'm going to do it, but I don't really feel like doing it, I'm just not going to do it. But if I just actually do it, I'll do it.
And you're fortunate too, JS, is you do have Rob with you, and you guys kind of work on stuff together. So at least you can try to pump each other up and motivate each other to get started on projects and do stuff together.
We
right?
do. And I'm not gonna lie, a lot of my ideas are coming from him these days. It's him saying, "Hey, we should do this and we should do that and we should try this," and it's slowly getting me. I will say this. Mike says, "JS, message me." Yeah, I will message you. I am curious as where you're getting those glasses, if you actually are making them, or if somebody's making them, or if you can buy them off the shelf. But that'd be the first step to me is the glasses, and then moving on to the full suit. I love the mask. Was it Mike that had the mask?
With the lizard, with
The lizard
yeah,
mask. Oh, that was awesome. That was genius.
really
It
good.
was almost as good as your mustache mask, but yeah. Oh, Rob. Oh, here we go. Rob, the bad guy, is here. He says, "I have another idea." Yeah, I'm not surprised. Uni the Corgi says, "I definitely need a deadline to be productive because I just procrastinate if I don't have a real deadline. And even that deadline is a year later. Even if that deadline is a year later, yeah. I mean, as much as I say I don't want to be in a con crunch for big cosplays like something like this, I would never have been able to get something like this done if there wasn't. Which if I hadn't said we need to get it done by then, I never would have gotten it done, right?
It helps.
Uh,
I think it helps. I think it helps a lot of people. I know there are some people that hate to have a deadline, hate to have that crunch. They want to have it done and ready to go. And
mhm.
but yeah, and I do. This is my panic time. Like everybody's con crunch 2 weeks in. It's 2 months out, and I'm like, oh shit, I need this and I need this, and I'm already doing all the research, figuring out. Yeah, so it's different strokes for different folks, right?
Yeah.
It's
Mike says, "I got a box of 25."
there you go.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll definitely send you a message. One of the things actually that I think is going to help me with my motivation is the fact that a lot of my cosplays were built out of my kitchen, sitting at my dining room table, because I never had a proper workshop. I mean, I have the garage where all my power tools are, but then in the wintertime, it sucks working in there because it's freezing cold. I'm actually building a workshop in my basement.
Ooh.
This is going to be a workshop that is set up so that I can also film.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that'd be all
Now
right.
I've talked about this a couple times now, but it is happening. The basement has now been gutted. I'm hoping this weekend that I'm going to be buying lumber, and then I'm going to be building over the next few weeks, and hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'll have a brand new workshop with all my tools, all my stuff, a couple nice workbenches. Like I'll have a proper, nice, heated indoor space to actually work on my cosplays. So hopefully that'll give me a little bit of motivation. Cutie says I have bigger cosplays that I still haven't finished because I have no reason. I have no reason to LOL. Well, that's kind of the thing, right? Yeah, they can make a full thing in 24 hours if I make it a public challenge. I mean, when you're talking about big cosplays, it's not the same thing also as a 24-hour cosplay, right? If you're making a 24-hour cosplay, you're reusing a lot of stuff that you have. You're not doing a lot of making, you're doing a lot of assembly. If you're building a big cosplay, you're doing a lot of making. So to me, there's a difference in if you're gonna make a 24-hour cosplay, um, I don't know. The time crunch isn't the same, obviously.
No, but whatever motivates you. If you have to put out a public challenge and that's what's going to get you going, then
Well,
that's
fair
what,
enough.
like, whatever's going to get you back in the game and doing the stuff. So I get it, man. It can be. There've been all kinds of times where I've been disheartened and not motivated, not working on anything for giant stretches of time. It happens to all of us, I think. I did a full on armor build. Yeah. So it's whatever motivates you, right?
Mhm.
If someone's hanging that deadline over your head, even if that someone is you, you decide that you're going to put out a public challenge to yourself to do that, and then you take that on, then yeah, if that's what
Yeah.
motivates you, then lean into it and do it for sure.
I am kind of curious as to what my buddy Rob was saying here, as far as he has another idea. I mean, we're all listening, we're all ears, bud. And nope, I
Oh,
make it from scratch, patterns, weapons, and so on. Yeah, I mean that's a build. That's a build more than a cosplay, really. Especially if you haven't worn it yet. That's a full build. Full armor builds are amazing. I love it. I mean, that's why I did this, because I freaking love it.
for
I would love
sure.
to do a full Iron Man, but if I'm going to do an Iron Man, I want it to be Iron Man. I want it to
Yeah,
be
of
movie
course.
accurate.
Yeah. No, that's fair. No, thanks. I
That
pass.
also means the needing to lose a, you know, few dozen pounds.
We're not going to. We did that episode. Not doing that again. No, we will do it again at some point, but
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a discussion that needs to keep going, right? I don't think the whole body positivity thing is a discussion that, oh, we've had it and it's done, because it's a problem that will persist. So, what is your guys' dream cosplays? Um, for me, I think would be probably a full out Master Chief.
nice.
I would love to do a big full out Master Chief. I just haven't found the motivation to build that. Either that, or I think my next one would be what we've been planning on doing, is big giant transformers. That is something that I've had in the back of my mind, big giant robots, since I started cosplaying. So it is something I want to get to at some point. What about
That's
you?
super cool. Well, I did mine. It was the comedian for sure. That
Yeah,
was started cosplaying. That's really what I wanted to do. So that was a big one. But there have been two that have been kind of banging around in my head. The Thomas Wayne version of Batman is one that I've always wanted to do right from the
yeah,
jump. And then I've toyed with the idea, and I've been in contact with a couple of people. I've always wanted to do Lucifer, like from the TV show or from the comic book that it was inspired
yeah,
by, and I want to have the hydraulic wings. So I just
yes.
want to be in a suit with scotch and a cigarette or a cigar, and just have the hit the button and have the wings come out and have the
Mm.
wings come back. I've actually talked to a couple of different people, and but that's going to be like a major undertaking that I don't know if I'll ever get to in my life, but hopefully we'll see. I don't know.
Oh, oh, you got some company there, bud?
Uh,
Oh, it looks like we lost Jeff for a minute here. So let's go through the comments here. Buddy Hero says, "Oh yes." I'm going to assume you meant the "oh yes" by big giant robots. I'm just going to assume that, whether that's correct or not. Hypergate says, "Yes, Lucy." Again, I'm not sure who is Lucy. Oh, Lucifer. Oh, duh. Yeah, Lucifer. That would be amazing. Dibs on Emmett.
Amenadiel. Oh, dude, Wayne, you would be the perfect Amenadiel. Are you
Is that
kidding me?
from Lucifer as well?
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, Wayne, you were born to play Amenadiel. Wow. Yeah. No, good call. Very good call. So yeah, if I can ever figure out or put together the harness and everything else for the, because I know I can do it with some pulley wings, or I can do it with some static wings, but I don't want to do it with that. I want to do it where there's a London cosplayer that is a hawk girl, and she has them. She brought them to Forest City Comic Con one time, and it's, dude, like once you see a pair of giant wings just unfurl from behind each other, I was like, that's what's up. That's what I want to do. And then when I was looking into it, I'm like, oh, this is going to be like $1,000 just to put this rig together, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
I follow a couple of cosplayers on Instagram and YouTube that specialize in those type of, like, specifically mechanical wings is one of the big things that they do.
a favor, send me some links if you don't mind that.
And yeah, for sure, it's something else. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, and funny enough, there's a lot of actual engineering behind them, because it's one thing to say, "Well, I'm going to make wings that move," but you have to be able to support those wings, and they have to be able to support themselves, and et cetera, right? Like
Yeah, I've seen
there's
some rigs that would seem to work out well. So
yeah.
things are insane. The dork side. I want to do a cosplay group with y'all. I think we were talking about.
Oh, Mando or something. Hey, we were we were talking about doing a Batman Mando mashup, I think is what it was,
I don't
with
know, but I
a
mean,
baby Yoda Robin.
I'm gonna have Todd Vance this year for Fan Expo. So yeah, I mean, I'm down for any kind of. Batman is my favorite superhero, so I want to do Batman. I also thought of doing a Batman Ronin look. Oh, dude, yeah, Wayne,
That'd be
that would
cool.
be dope. In the best ways, Hypergate saying and Cutie saying, but worth it. Yeah, for sure. No question there.
Yeah,
But yeah,
mechanical wings would be amazing.
it's just going to be the time and the money. It's because it's going to be a big dedication to that. Rob saying, "How I love that idea, mechanical wings." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and Mike says smacking people with the wings, and that's what happens, right? When you have a cosplay like that,
Of course.
you gotta expect that you're gonna, you're probably gonna be breaking it. You're gonna have to do some repairs by the time you're done at the end of the day, especially if you plan on wearing it multiple times. I mean, it is what it is, right? The first time we wore these, we had to rebuild the whole way the feet work, and we had to change a bunch of stuff, right? Like,
You don't know until you get out in it for hours.
yeah, and then when you get into a crowd, it's even worse, right?
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I also want to do an original Green Lantern cosplay. That's also Wayne.
You know me,
Uh,
man. Green Lantern's my guy, so all about the core. Just clotheslining people left, right.
yeah,
Yep.
big wings, bam, clotheslining people as they walk by.
I'm loose for Morningstar. What are you gonna do?
Black Captain Kurt says you've done Thomas Wayne, right? No, he was just saying that he'd like to do it, but I don't
I would
believe
really like to do it.
you've
Yeah.
never actually done a Batman, have you?
No. No. So the
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson Batman will be the first, but I
Right.
would still one day to do a Thomas Wayne version for sure.
Is he back up and working?
He is
Forget his
like
name.
literally just. So
Yeah.
yes, I reached
So
out
is he
and
taking orders yet, or is he just still backfilling orders?
I know he is backfilling for sure, but Jeff, you should have bought the GL Lite. Yeah. I know it was too expensive, but maybe. I want to get a battery. I want to get a power battery. That'd be good too. But anyways, I digress.
You come to me for that.
You can build me a power battery?
Yeah, you come to me for that. For an actual lantern, you come to me for
Yeah.
that. Yeah. I built
Yeah.
one for Cosplay Alliance. I built one for his son.
Don't tease me, man. Like this, I want to
Yeah.
have this thing. Okay, well, I'll come to you for that, and you send me the links to the people that are making wings, and we'll make beautiful cosplays together.
There we go. Hey, listen, we got to cut it off because it's already 8:15, and funny enough, I have another interview in 15 minutes, so we got to wrap this up. But I love the interaction with the people. This has been amazing. This is almost
Great.
more fun just going live here than publishing the actual podcast. But loving the interaction. Thanks everybody for sticking with us. Rob says the lantern was amazing. Thanks, bud.
Oh,
It was an early project for me, but it was pretty neat. I put a lot of thought into it, and it was all foam.
Nice.
That version of my lantern was all foam, which was amazing. But thanks everybody for watching. Really appreciate it again. Love all the cosplays. It was fun while it lasted. Thank you, the dork side. It's always fun to have you guys along. Jeff, thanks,
Yes,
buddy.
sir.
Always a pleasure. We got to talk about next week what we want to do.
Yep.
So let's talk on private chat. Black Captain Kurtz is watching. See, it was fun. Thank you both from Cutie. Thanks for having us. Hyper Gay. Everybody's thanking us. We're thanking you. Thank you guys.
Geez,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you guys.
Interactions. It's
we're just old men ranting here for nothing on the internet with people watching. I mean, thanks to you guys. Thanks everybody for watching the podcast. If you're listening to this, whether on YouTube or on your favorite podcast platform, we never even pitched that at the beginning, but thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you click that subscribe button, but that will be it for today. Stay geeky, everybody. We'll see you next time.